y'all, welcome back to the Briles Bunch, or welcome if you're new here. If you are new here, I'm Courtney. I'm a stay-at-home mom to 2 boys. They are 4 and 2. Here on my channel, I do lots of what's for dinner videos as well as weekly grocery hauls. So if that sounds good to you, then I would love to have you subscribe. This what's for dinner video is a little bit different. It's part of a big open collab hosted by Tamara from Southern Wife Everyday Life. Thanks, girl, for hosting these open collabs that we do sometimes. Are a lot of fun, and I appreciate all the hard work that goes into them. But this one is where we're all going to be taking our favorite cookbooks and just cooking some recipes out of it, and we'll all have like the link to the cookbooks in the description box below. I am using this Tupelo Honey Cafe cookbook, and I've actually been to the physical location. They have like different restaurants. I know that they have one in Asheville, North Carolina, and then here in Tennessee, I've been to one. I know of a couple of different locations, I think, and they've actually got 4 volumes of different cookbooks on Amazon if you guys want to check those out. There's some really yummy recipes in there. This one was given to me by a friend, and I'm gonna be honest, I haven't cooked much out of it, but what I cooked tonight was so good. We've already cooked and ate it, and it was so good. We've done a lot of frying. We made some fried chicken with some really yummy gravy to go on top of it, and then also some fried green tomatoes. So if that sounds good to you, then make sure you stick around to the end to see all of that yumminess, and you're definitely not going to want to miss out on everybody else's that they're cooking. We're going to have the playlist and Tamara's channel as well linked in the description box below for you guys to check out. But let's get on into cooking. So the first recipe that we're going to make out of this cookbook was some nutty fried chicken, and you'll see that it says with smashed sweet potatoes and milk gravy. We didn't decide to do the sweet potatoes with it, but we did do the gravy, and y'all, this was a perfect combination. I'm going to go through the ingredients with you just a little bit, and then we'll get into doing all the prep work and cooking it. But for this, we had some canola oil to fry it in, 2 cups of buttermilk, and then 2 cups of roasted, salted, mixed nuts. So we got this pack at Ingles, I believe, and then we got some chicken breast, and then we also had 2 cups of panko breadcrumbs. The first thing we did was cut the chicken breast in half. Well, actually, we only cut one of them. The others that were in the pack were already pretty thin, but if we did it again, we probably would just thin them out a little bit more because that's our liking. Then we put them in a Ziploc bag with the buttermilk, and it says to let that marinate in the refrigerator for an hour, but it was probably more like 30 minutes for us, and it was still fine. The next thing we did, I took my Ninja blender and put the nuts in there and just made sure to chop those down really fine before adding in the panko and combining the 2. And I just gotta say, every time I get to use this Ninja, I'm so excited. I didn't speed that clip up at all. It literally only took like 4 to 5 seconds to chop all of those nuts up all at once. This thing is so awesome. Next, we added our canola oil, that was 2 cups of it, into a cast iron skillet. I'm sure it would be fine to use any other kind of skillet as well, as long as it's deep enough. And then we set that on medium-high heat and waited for that to heat up until it reached 325 degrees. And here is our mixture. I stuck half of it into a pie pan to coat the chicken, and that way the other half could be used after 2 chicken breasts, so it didn't get all clumpy and not able to use as well. The tongs just weren't cutting it, so Travis took one for the team. I did not want to get chicken all over me. It grosses me out. So he decided to just jump in there and coat the chicken for me. And then once the cast iron skillet was heated up good enough, we added our chicken in. It took about 4 to 5 minutes on each side before they are fully cooked through. You just want to check with your thermometer to make sure that they're cooked to 165 degrees. So I will talk more about this cookbook with you guys a little bit at the end of the video in case you're interested in seeing some more of the recipes. But first, let's go ahead and jump right into the fried green tomatoes. For this one, you're going to need 2 green tomatoes. They're kind of hard to find around this time of the year. We figured out we only could find them at one store, but we did get them, and they turned out really yummy. And then you'll need 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of Lowry seasoning salt, and then 1 teaspoon of sweet paprika. We didn't really know what that was, so we put a pinch of sugar in it. We've got half a cup of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of white cornmeal, 1/3 a cup of milk, and then you'll need some more oil. We didn't have enough canola oil, so we just used a cup of vegetable oil. So after we cut the green tomatoes, which we were actually supposed to core them first, apparently we can't read, but they turned out fine. I combined all of the dry ingredients, so the cornmeal and the flour, the paprika and Lowry seasoning salt, and combined it really well together to get them incorporated. In a second bowl, we did our egg mixture, so egg and all of the milk, and combine it until it's mixed up really well. Then you'll take your green tomatoes and coat them in the flour mixture, go back over to the egg mixture, then the flour mixture again. While we were doing that, we were also heating up the cup of oil on the stove and getting that heated up to 325 or until it was bubbling when you put the food in. Actually cooked up even faster than the chicken did, so it only took like 2 to 3 minutes per side for these to cook. So this is a really easy meal once you get it going, but we were doing 3 at once plus filming, so it took a little longer than it should have, but it was totally worth it. Look how these turned out. Everything was so good. Now let's get to the gravy. So for the gravy, y'all, me and Travis both really think this just made the meal, and we can't wait to see what else we can make with this gravy. We just want to pair it with everything. It was so good. So for the gravy, we've got 2 tablespoons of butter. We've got 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of milk, 3/4 a teaspoon of sea salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So not many ingredients. Totally worth the time to do this. We will be making this again because it was delicious. So the first thing I did was melt the butter on low heat, and once it was all melted, I added in the flour until it was nice and combined, and then turned it to medium heat. And then you want to stir it for like 2 minutes, stirring it constantly. And y'all, I don't know if this is the consistency it was supposed to, or if I did something wrong. It turned out in the end, but to me it just kept looking like the inside of a Reese's peanut butter egg. So I just kept stirring the little clumps, hoping that they wouldn't get browned, which I didn't think they would because it wasn't liquid. So I don't know. After that 2 minutes, you'll add in your 2 cups of milk and the 3/4 a teaspoon of sea salt and combine that in slowly. But then once it's combined, you'll start stirring that for 5 minutes until it thickens up and coats your spoon. After it got to the right consistency, there were still a few lumps that you can see, but when we were eating it, you really couldn't tell at all. Like, I didn't notice it once. But then you'll add in your pepper and cayenne pepper and mix that together, take it off the heat, and you're ready to eat. We poured this directly onto our chicken, and we actually even ended up dipping the fried green tomatoes in it. Seriously, it was so good. I could have ate like the gravy by itself with spoonfuls, but it paired with the chicken so good. If you guys try this, I would love to hear about it here or over on Instagram. Now I'm just going to flip through this cookbook and show you a little more of it, just so you get a better idea of what's in the cookbook. First off was their biscuits, and I think they're actually kind of known for their biscuits. I've had them though, so I can attest that they're really good. We're probably going to try those out sometime, and they used to serve them with blackberry jam, I believe is what it was. Perfect pairing. It was delicious while you're waiting on your food. They've also got lots of gravies and salsas in here, some sides to choose from. They've got some honey glazed carrots that looked really good that I'll show you in just a second. They've got some fish chowder. Seriously, so many good things. They've also got some desserts that are in here. The banana pudding, which I've actually had, and it was delicious. Seriously, I've not tried anything from there that I didn't like, and I'm not even a seafood person, but I've tried, I can't remember what it was called, but I tried one of theirs there, and it actually tasted good, so that kind of surprised me too. So this is definitely one of the recipe books that I really need to make more things out of it. So that's gonna be it for this video. This is probably a really weird angle. I just decided to sit on the counters, but I hope you guys enjoyed it and that it will provide you with some new meal inspiration. Please don't forget to go check out everybody else's videos and the playlist that I'm gonna have linked in the description box below. You won't want to miss out on what they're cooking and the cookbooks that they're using. I'm excited to see what everybody else is using for cookbook wise. Some of my favorite cookbooks are the ones that churches do, like our church has one, and then ones that we've gotten from like school and stuff. I would love to know what your all's favorite cookbook is in the comments down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you have a good day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye y'all.